Strengthen and weaken are the two most common argument question types on GRE Verbal. Both require the same foundational understanding, identifying the logical gap between the premises and the conclusion. The gap is the assumption. Strengthen answers close the gap. Weaken answers widen it. Your personal agreement or disagreement with the conclusion is completely irrelevant to answering these questions correctly. Here is the error that produces wrong answers on strengthen and weaken questions. Students read the conclusion, decide whether they agree with it, and choose an answer that supports or undermines the topic generally. But the question is not about the topic. It is about the specific logical relationship between these premises and this conclusion. An answer can be factually accurate and still not strengthen or weaken this specific argument if it does not address the gap. Strengthen and weaken questions both require the same first step: identify the assumption. The assumption is the gap between what the premises state and what the conclusion claims. Once you have identified the gap, the question becomes, which answer choice directly addresses this gap? The correct strengthen answer closes it. The correct weaken answer opens it. Answer choices that are relevant to the topic but do not address the specific gap are wrong. The gap in the example is a causal assumption. The company installed solar and costs dropped. The argument assumes solar caused the drop. To weaken this argument, you need an alternative explanation for the cost drop that does not require solar to be the cause. The national grid price falling 35% during the same period provides exactly that. Now the same evidence can be explained without crediting solar. The argument is weakened. To strengthen the same argument, you need to eliminate alternative explanations or confirm the causal relationship. Comparable companies without solar that saw no cost reduction eliminates the alternative explanation that a general energy price drop caused the saving. If the price drop was general, all companies would have experienced it. The fact that only solar companies saw savings supports the causal claim. The argument is strengthened. Common weaken patterns. Alternative cause introduces another explanation for the evidence. Counterexample shows a case where the premises are true but the conclusion does not hold. Sampling flaw shows the evidence comes from an unrepresentative group. Common strengthen patterns. Eliminates alternative explanation, confirms the assumption directly, or provides additional evidence that the same conclusion holds in other contexts. Recognizing these patterns makes strengthen and weaken questions faster. The breakfast exam score argument. Students who eat breakfast score higher. The conclusion is that breakfast causes higher scores. The assumption is that breakfast is what explains the score difference rather than some other factor. The weaken answer. Students from higher income families both eat breakfast more regularly and have access to better tutoring. This introduces a third variable that could explain both the breakfast eating and the higher scores, making the causal claim unnecessary. Your strengthen and weaken checklist. Identify the assumption first. Strengthen closes the gap, eliminates alternatives, or confirms the assumption. Weaken widens the gap, introduces alternatives, or undermines the assumption. Your opinion is irrelevant. Correct answer addresses the specific logical gap in this argument. Next lesson, GRE integer properties, HCF, LCM, and remainders. Subscribe for Saturday. Comment your target score below.